First, I want to say that I'll divide this video into two parts. The first will be about the game itself, the second will be about the group. Overwatch, the game, is a futuristic team-based multiplayer first-person shooter with multiple characters with their own abilities and weapons that was released in 2017. There are 7 consistent game modes in Overwatch. Assault, Control, Escort, and Hybrid are randomly selected from when you join a quick play or competitive match. You can choose between Capture the Flag, Deathmatch, and Elimination in the arcade game mode. However, many game modes go around during certain seasons. For example, Lucio Ball, Junkenstein's Revenge, the Overwatch Arcades, etc. I don't have enough time to explain each and every single mode, but I will explain Quick Play and Competitive mode in a second. Quick Play is the main mode in Overwatch. You join a lobby, and depending on what role you pick, it can either be a very quick load time, or if you pick damage, a 10-minute load time. Nonetheless, you can choose between 4 things to do while waiting for your game to load. The first one is called Practice. In this mode, there are 10 bots for you to train or practice on, whether you're playing support, damage, or tank. The second option is named Skirmish. In Skirmish, you can pick any character regardless of if your teammates are already playing that character. There is no objective, so it is basically Overwatch's classic 6v6. Third up is Deathmatch. Deathmatch is very similar to the other Deathmatch mode. However, in the waiting queue Deathmatch mode, any amount of players choose between multiple characters and are all pitted against each other. Simple. Fourth is Game Browser. Game Browser sends you into the custom game search for you to choose between multiple custom games made by players. Competitive play has the same queue options, but competitive play is referred to as competitive because of the ranked aspect. In competitive play, you were ranked among 7 tiers: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and Grandmasters. Each win or lose you experience changes your SR or skill rating. There is also a top 500 ranking which places the best 500 players in a select region regardless of current rank. Now that you understand the game mode, let's move on to the characters. As aforementioned, in Overwatch there are multiple characters. The reason I don't say a specific number is because Blizzard adds new characters about every 4 months. As of the scripting of this video, there are 31 heroes, but when Overwatch released, there was only 21. Each character has their own abilities and guns. My current main, Lucio, has a gun called the Sonic Amplifier. This weapon is a 4-round burst weapon. Lucio has 4 abilities, an ultimate, a passive, and 2 main abilities. However, not all characters have the same amount of abilities or even have a passive, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to go over his abilities because I'm trying to keep this video short. Anyways, every character in this game isn't just a character with guns and abilities. Overwatch is an organization founded by the United Nations with hopes of ending the Omnic Crisis, composed of many scientists, engineers, soldiers, etc. Overwatch has a wide array of people and creatures that were seen as heroes, each and every one being their own little oddity. If you're wondering why I said we're seen as heroes, I'll explain that right now. After the end of the Omnic Crisis, Overwatch continued to protect humanity against many threats such as Talon. They were also very innovative, focusing on medical research and climatology. However, with the death of 2 key members, Soldier 76 or Jack Morrison and Reaper or Gabriel Reyes, and the revealing of many shadow operations dealing with Overwatch, sadly, got shut down. However, this wasn't the end of Overwatch. When Null Sector invaded Paris, Overwatch was reunited. At first, it was just Tracer, Mei, and Winston all riding on the Orca in a mission to stop the Omnics. However, once they landed, many other former members of Overwatch appeared, such as Genji, Reinhardt, Brigitte, Echo, and Angela or Mercy. Upon release of Overwatch 2, much more of the story will be released. However, this is it for me. Tell me in the comments if you like this format of 5-minute explanation videos. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!